We're on, man. Hey!
Hey,
Johnny!
it's me, Johnny Fox. Here with some more Fox Tales this week. I have the fantastically talented Joseph Clarke of, guess what? Joseph Clarke Photography. What a fantastic name. Must have took some time to come up with that one.
Oh, it was pretty easy, mate. Easiest part of that one. The easy part of that one.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to throw it over to you, give you a few minutes. Sell yourself. Tell the kids at home who you are and what you do.
I'm Joey. I'm based in here in Sheffield. Lived here all my life, but, well, I went out to go to Australia and New Zealand for a little bit while. I kind of halfly made a bit of that up as I went along, even though I had a plan. And now here I am back in Sheffield. Do photos. I also do landscaping like dry stone walling, so I've got many skills and I'm a very busy man and never seem to rest much. Go to quite a lot of gigs, go and see a lot of bands, and sometimes, every now and again, get myself into a little bit of trouble in the mosh pit. Nothing serious, just minor scrapes. Minor. And occasionally I go over the barrier still, but yeah. No, I'm pretty easy going and everything. Like travel too and yoga and fitness. Not too much for me, just the average geezer.
Oh, fantastic.
Average geezer with a cup of Yorkshire tea.
So, how long has the photography been a thing? To have like as a paid gig.
Hang on a sec. What?
How long
I'm
has
not getting very visual. Apologies if anyone.
How long has the photography been a paid gig for you?
Probably more since COVID, I guess. I've only just started weddings last year. I did my first one last year, and so far I've got a couple booked in for this year. So yeah, and I do a lot of club events, and one of and I do tonight is a student night, and the Hallam netball team. If you're watching this, they're considering taking me on for a few of their games, as I did some work for them last year. But I find out later in the week. But hope they'll hire me on, mate.
Right.
No, they keep me busy, and they certainly know how to keep me on my toes.
So for anybody watching, So for anybody watching, you're pretty open to photograph anything.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Apologies, I'm trying to listen in, but the audio gets a bit madder. But yeah, could you repeat that, please? Sorry, Johnny.
You're pretty much open to photograph anything that anyone will pay you for.
Yeah, I'll do it, depending on what it is, of course.
Bands.
Dogs, birthdays, weddings, gigs. I mean, last week I was working with a local band called Shanghai Treason. Banjo punk, by the way. Check them out, anyone who's listening. Shanghai Treason. They also keep me on my toes. And occasionally I gotta watch out for flying kicks from the singer. Never at me though. Just for photographic reasons. Never at me. All about the photos. Yeah, just when he captures that exact moment he does. Just knowing when he's gonna do it, because he can be a bit unpredictable in that sense. Yeah. No harm done, just all good. All cool.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's the thing that I found kind of fascinating. I mean, because everybody's a photographer these days, because everybody's got a camera in their pocket, right? But to actually be any good at it is a whole different thing. That photographer's eye kind of a thing, like I said, to know for the framing and the timing and all of that, and they just need artistic inspiration to point it in that direction.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
is next level shit,
Yeah, I'll tell you something cool that I thought was pretty cool to listen to. So I like this photographer named Tony Woolliscroft. Now he's followed bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Foo Fighters before, and they're in his portfolio. He was quantum point relying on doing the live photos and relying on a lot of photo shoots, and had been persuasive to one of the guys, like, come on guys, let's do a photo shoot at the end of one tour. And he'd done 6 frames in, and one guy just left before he finished the 10 frame shoot. And he was taken to the side by another member of the band going, we love you, we trust you with what you do, but we don't like long photo shoots. So rather than relying on those photo shoots for the publicity shots, document the time you spend with us and you will come away with a lot more results and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I really like that little bit of inspiration because then he turned it into he went to watch the Chili Peppers record an album and he was doing the vocalist was doing some stuff in the studio. And then he said, can I come and do a photo of you in the studio booth when you're doing a drive run, a practice run? And he said, no, you're going to do it for real and let him in the camera. And he had to be really quiet, but he got a really good few frames of the singer in some really good lit conditions for that, what he was saying. That very journalistic approach I thought was really good and fun. Very natural
yeah, that's
too.
yeah, that's really really cool. I mean, the time from my past life playing in bands, the photo shoot was
Mm.
always pretty shit. It was not something that I'd look forward to. Not in that kind of pose. Look cool. Have you met me? Like I can't do that. Like there's no sex appeal here.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to work a bit harder. Yeah, and I always thought like come to a gig, hang out, come early. Give us a hand,
Mm.
carry some shit. Let's pick up the
Yeah,
gear. Let's
yeah, I
go.
hear
Let's
you.
do sound
Hear
check. Let's
you.
go find something to eat and just like hang out for a few hours and snap away. We'll try and almost pretend you're not here and just get those photos. I always thought something like that had probably yield rather cooler results, but people just kind of wanted me to stand in front of that wall and like look metal. How the fuck do I look metal?
All the doors of the venue.
Yeah,
To be honest, there's quite a few musicians who are not really comfortable with photo shoots. They're totally fine on stage, but they're not exactly the
yeah.
most, photogenic and stuff like that. So you've got to
So,
work
so
a bit and a quote from another photographer, you've got to really sort of use a personality to win them over and get them comfortable in front of the camera.
yeah,
That's half of the job. So
certainly would
yeah,
be. So it certainly is
little bit of picture.
the big job for anybody trying to get me
Yeah.
comfortable. I know that. Um, so yeah. So you're doing bands, like you said, weddings. Weddings. That's the big money, right? The weddings.
The big one, but I can't tell you. Last year when I was shooting first wedding I did, this was the first one. I was just like, oh god! I packed everything up, like all backups of the cameras, extra batteries, and everything. I'm, you know, thinking, okay, I got one chance at this, and you had to keep. You can be nervous, but you have to stay really composed because the bride she was very nervous. It's like you got to just play cool, be cool and be professional as they do their things. Direct them
Yeah.
because someone was told me you listen to what they've got to say, have some of the ideas your own, and you have to be the boss at times and maintain good composure. So that was the nerve wracking bit, particularly walking down the aisle in the ceremony. We did have some comedic moments of it was very high wind in an outdoor venue, and headpieces were blowing all over the place, and she found the funny side. Thankfully, she found the funny side. We all did.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
because
just making sure you're on board. On point
yeah, a friend of mine's getting married the end of the month, the end of March, and crikey, not something I've ever done, so not something I've ever looked into. So just being a friend with all the stress and all the organising and the message stuff. Some of the quotes when it came to the photography were mind-boggling. Like it's a skill, and this is a day you're gonna like remember forever, and some special pictures and all of that kind of stuff. Like I don't doubt it for a second, but it was like, fuck me, I have paid photographers to do photo shoots for band stuff. It's not as special as a wedding, but I've still hired them for a good few hours and a fair few pictures taken or whatever. You like the difference. I mean, there's also a time lapse, and everything's more expensive than it was when I was hiring a photographer. But Jesus. I mean, I'm not going to name any names or anybody else,
We've
but I
got,
mean, with like
there's,
thousands. I'm like, really? Like I said, I
yeah, well,
think it's
there's,
a skill and everything, but like, you're not actually using any film these days or anything, you know, like with the digital help, you know, to get like, really?
yeah, guess so. Just, there are some things like you've got to think about insurance, cover your equipment,
Well, yeah.
and then you know, you've got all your software, which I have. I'm on monthly fee for a lot of software and cover. That includes public liability. So there's a lot of that to consider,
Yeah.
as well as transport
Yeah.
costs of their own stuff. So
Yeah.
you have to factor a lot of that in. And as I said, I'm learning along the way at the minute. So very green. So I'm enjoying the learning process. I just
Yeah.
like to, it's always nice to be able to pull it off for the client because they were really happy with the results, and it's nice to deliver. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine it is. It's a very personal thing that you're being invited into to be a part of, and yeah, to try and capture those moments. That's got to be a big deal, and
Totally.
a lot of pressure as well, a lot of stress.
Oh yeah. So when the bride, sorry, the groom's dad at one point was like, they were all very lovely. They were like, "You want a pint?" And I was like, that's very kind of you, but I just don't drink when I'm working a wedding because I can't miss a moment. I just need to be on point.
Yeah.
Very kind of them, but I declined politely.
So,
Just to
so
keep in the moment.
is there anything? Is there any sort of scenario or whatever that that's kind of the favorite thing you've done? Is it the band shoots, live shoots, or
Ooh,
portraits? I mean, you probably can't pick a favorite, I imagine, but it's or what's the most fun? Which one can you kind of relax and just go to town on?
I think, God, goodness. The Shanghai Treason Boys are great fun to shoot and everything. They keep me on my toes, but it's always great
Yeah.
fun. One of my most memorable moments, I think. Oh, wait. One of my most memorable ones was back in about 2013. My mate, the Kitey Mad Seeds, another local band from Sheffield, they had a gig supporting Uni John Roth and Diamond Head, and that was just a really fun show to shoot. Because the bass player at the time, I can't remember his name, I'm messing around with me. He'd see me and waltz up to me playing his bass, and then the one time I went onto the other side of the stage, he clocked me and he goes, "What are you doing down there?" The response was, "They're a sneaky little bastards." That was a really fun gig. And another good gig, which was really, really cool and special because it was their ever first time in the UK, was a band called the Walking Papers, which had at the time a member of Guns N' Roses in them playing bass. And I'd gone as a fan and gotten the okay to photograph it. The lighting was shocking. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because it was called the Ruby Lounge, and red lighting snappers is a nuisance. You can make it work, but it is a nuisance. And when I managed to work around it when they come around, it was like a little club show, had a free reign in the crowd. I could work around. Everybody was friendly, and it was just a really fun gig to watch. And then they all hung around afterwards to sign CDs. And he even wrote on my CD case, "You made it," as he did, because I told him who I was. And been in touch. That was a
Nice.
really little heartwarming.
Very cool. So you kind of, I suppose you have no choice to get really involved in sort of in the tech side of things. Uh, with the photography, I don't know, like say lenses, editing software. That I don't know. Never owned a camera ever. But I suppose you have sort of no choice but to read up on that and learn all that and get
Yeah.
really quite techie about these things. If you if you want to be the best anyway.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I did it at uni, I really don't mind just going in and looking things up and just looking up blogs, videos, tutorials and all that. I really have no problem looking it up. Just extra bit of learning, and then You actually know what you're on about when you do things, and you might even find little bits of inspiration while you're at it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, kids, this is Joseph Clarke of Joseph Clarke Photography. If you want photographing, or you know a man or a girl or a dog or a happy couple or a band who does, or anything really, hit him up. Get on
Yeah.
those socials, check him out. In the meantime, because obviously this conversation is far too riveting to do it now, so wait till after. But we'll get on those socials
Okay.
straight after. Right now, we're gonna
After.
after. Um, right now, we're gonna play a bit of this or that. Get to know you a little better. No wrong answers, no prizes. And we start with the
Okay.
very boring but only way to really start this thing: cats or dogs.
Sorry, I didn't catch the question. The audio
Cats
is
or dogs.
bad. Oh, God. I'm saying both. I'm a spoiled brat. I can't settle for one. I'll have both.
Oh, okay. Sweet,
Non-negotiable, I'm afraid.
sweet or savoury?
Um, God. Okay, sweet. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Pizza or kebab?
Yeah. Pizza.
Pizza. Now, is that like a vegetarian thing or just a Ninja Turtle thing?
I just love
Yeah.
pizza in general. Ninja Turtle thing, if you like. Mad Brit.
um, skydiving or scuba diving?
Or bungee. Fuck it, both. Done a few skydives, so it's a good rush.
Yeah.
Hate the journey up, love the fall. But the last one I did up in Langer for St. Luke's was bloody cold, like having a jet of ice being blasted into your face.
Okay. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Morning or evening? Depends on the mood.
Yeah.
Really depends on the mood.
Okay. Get the good stuff now.
Say again?
We'll get to the good stuff now. Would you rather
Yeah, let's
have
do it.
ice cream that doesn't melt or pizza that never gets cold?
Oh, God damn. Pizza that never gets cold. Pizza that don't get cold.
Okay. Okay. Here's one. Would you rather be a genius? Would you rather be a genius in a world of fools or a fool in a world of
Yeah.
geniuses?
Oh, I'd rather be the genius at this point. Genius.
The great thing is, if it's a world of fools, you don't have to be that smart to be the genius, do you?
No,
So,
no, it just seems more appealing at the minute. That's all.
What have we got? Oh, okay. Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf?
Werewolf
Yes,
can go out in the daytime at least. Enjoy the sun.
yes, finally. Let's chalk up another one. That's about two, not including myself, that have actually gone for werewolf. I like it. And
All right,
vampires.
like,
Yeah, no, because Hollywood does werewolves dirty, so everybody picks vampires. Everybody wants to be the sexy fucking vampire. It's boring.
having a place for it.
um, okay. Big parties or small gatherings?
Uh, oh God, it's thinking me now, Johnny. Fuck, it can have both, depending on the mood. Very mood
It is.
dependent.
Everything is, isn't it? Would you rather see a puppet show, or a magic show?
Puppet show or what?
Magic show.
Uh, Magic.
Magic. Okay, so do you like
Fancy the magic.
the sort of like close up, pick a card, any card, find the ball in the cup, magic, or like the huge make the Empire State Building disappear kind of shit?
I'm more for the card tricks. They're just very entertaining. You know,
Yeah,
really entertaining.
it's a serious skill. It may not be, I don't know, magic,
Yeah.
but
I don't want to
it's
know
a
the skill.
serious
I don't
skill.
want to know the skill. I'm happy with it being
Yeah,
a mystery.
I
I'm
was
happy with it
blown
being
away
a mystery.
recently. I was
Very, very happy.
actually at a party recently, and the guy was a kind of random guy was at the table with a deck of cards, and people were making ooh noises, so I had to go over and see what's going on. And he picks me and he goes, right then,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
gives the cards this big shuffle, and he's like, pick a card, any card, look at it, don't show me, don't, all of that. So it's the seven of clubs,
Yeah.
right? Put the
Mm-hmm.
card back in the park. He shuffles the park even more, and he lays the cards on the table, and then he picks one card up and turns it over and says, "Is that your card?" Of course it is. And I'm like, "Wow, that's great." But this is the thing. This is what got me. I go, "Yay, that's great," and he goes, "Yeah, it's kind of impressive." But it's less impressive when you realise, and he turns all the cards over, and they're fucking all seven of clubs. And I'm like, what? Hey, what? Hey, how'd you do? What? No. Got
Okay,
me. Loved
okay.
it.
You're gonna have to shut that one. I saw a great one when in Sydney. We're all waiting outside for a Noel Gallagher gig in Sydney when I was back in Australia, and this bar guy comes up to show us a card trick, me and a bunch of the fellow fans. And I don't know what I can't remember exactly. He said, "Oh, I'll pick a card, take some of our parts of our phone numbers," and we're just like, "What the fuck?" And somehow along the way, I got a bit lost along it, but somehow it ended up with the card that had a number written on it. Sorry, the card that a guy had signed on it ended up in the back of somebody's phone or something like that. And he was like, "What the fuck?" And everything like that. It was really impressive. And it ended up with us just taking, for about an hour, going to take the miss, going, Stewie, mate, we're going to get halfway through Wonderwall, and you'll be like singing, "Today is gonna be the day that I throw it back to you." Hey, remember that card trick? By now, you should have somehow realised. We took the piss in that way. It was great fun.
Oh,
That never
man.
happened, by the way, but we were just taking it out of him on that. It was just, whatever it was really impressive.
Yeah.
The
like
lad,
that.
whoever he
that a
is,
lot.
did a great job.
Okay. Meanwhile,
So there's a few.
polka dots or stripes?
Both. I got a dotted t-shirt upstairs and a striped shirt, so I'm having both.
Okay.
Yeah.
The potentially controversial ones, but I have to do it. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Yeah. Oh. I know Star Wars better, so I'm going to go Star Wars. But I do like to start some of the rebooted Star Trek movies. They're good.
I mean, I have been known to get jumped on for that. Oh, they're two very different things. I know.
Yeah.
I know they're very different styles. They're just two big franchises with Star in the name. It's just a bit of fun. That's the case.
It exactly. Calm down.
Yeah. It's like, and then it gets worse.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I just make it worse for myself by asking Dragon Ball or Pokemon.
Ooh. I'm going Pokemon because I grew up knowing that a bit better. I haven't watched it in years.
Again,
but theme song's good, yeah.
Again, I do know they're two very different things, but it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Last one. This is a new one I've just added, and it's proving quite humorous. Would you rather burp confetti or fart glitter?
Fucking hell. I'm gonna burp confetti, alright?
Why?
That would be a right laugh and a half. There, skills in the bar skilled. You could even get a tip or something in the bar. Want to see some confetti? Tricks behind the bar. Winning.
Yeah. Good, and useful at weddings.
I'm not even sorry for the mess that needs to be cleaned up afterwards. I wouldn't even feel guilty.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Right. So, once again, I do this. I don't know why. Once again, this is Joseph Clarke of Joseph Clarke Photography. If you want something photographing, especially if you want it done by somebody called Joseph or Joe or Joey or whatever you prefer, then this would be the guy for you.
Anything.
Very niche kind of guy. But if you just want photographs, that's okay as well. um, so hit up those socials and see what he could do for you. Um, so I like to keep getting the plug in because it's all about you. It's not about me. It's about you. So, because what I do is just talk shit about like movies and music and stuff. So, uh, what's rocking
So,
your
yeah.
playlist at the moment?
Ooh, liking a lot of 70s music at the minute. Just going through phases. I can go from one end extreme to the other. I could be listening to Oasis like right now, and then it's like, I fancy the Beatles. Ooh, I'm going for the 70s stuff. I like UFO or some of Fleetwood Mac and that sort of
Ah,
thing.
love
I'm
me
just
some Fleetwood
I'm
Mac.
all over the place. Right. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, again,
yeah. I was having a bit of a
it's very mood related thing, isn't it? Music.
oh yeah, totally, totally,
Yeah, you got to either
totally right.
find the music that fits your mood, or find the music that possibly gets you out of the mood that you might not want to be in.
No, yeah, yeah. Iron Maiden is one of the many bands that gets me out of the bad moods and usually in the good moods. That's one of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Liam and Noel. Hopefully, if they don't get too bad mood this year and fall out again, fingers crossed, guys. They don't fall out and split up again. But they're definitely one for a good mood booster, them guys.
So I do like to ask people who clearly are into their music. Um, when anybody's watching this who knows you, I don't I don't really take any stock in guilty pleasures, right? I
Oh yeah.
like what I like, and I have no regrets. It's fine. Um, but
Mm.
for want of a better phrase, perhaps I should put it in the way like, is there an artist that you like that you think might surprise people? Where people might go, really?
Uh, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I like a lot of trip hop, and even if I even put a list of old '90s hits that I grew up with every now and again when I'm walking or
Yeah,
something. But yeah, I quite like do that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
good with it.
Fantastic. Okay, so what was the last movie you watched that you'd recommend? Might not be a new one, might not be a new movie, but just the last film you took in that you can remember that you think,
Uh, I might get some flack for this. I don't care, but the last movie I watched was at a show was Steve-O, the Bucket List Tour, as I saw it a couple of years ago in Stoke. I won't go into the contents of it because it's really fucked up, but I suggest you go watch it on his website, Steve-O, the Bucket List
all
Tour.
right.
Do it at your own risk. And don't try any of that shit at home, kids. You've been warned. It is worth it. Just have a strong stomach because
Yeah.
there were two dudes in the show I went to who passed out. Not even going
I,
to say.
I'll have to
One
look into that.
detail.
That's a
Yeah,
challenge
just
accepted.
have it,
Yeah. Um,
have it.
so what would be let's fantasize for a minute. What would be a dream subject to photograph. Maybe a person, maybe a place, maybe a person in a place. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Dream subjects for photograph. At the moment, it'd be weddings. People, particularly weddings with good music taste, because then you could get them together and just really come up with a load of creative ideas. Like, if you were to come up to me with a Fleetwood Mac themed wedding, I'd just be flying all over with ideas for them, content, photos, and yeah, I'd just be, you get the point. I'd love it to be an Iron Maiden one because they're one of my all-time favourites. You know, I'd be really up for that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
That could be good. Yeah, that's a very. Have you seen Maiden?
Oh yeah, I've seen them about 16
Yeah.
times as a band. I've seen the singer do a talk and a solo show, and I've seen the bass player do a show too. In fact, I met the singer Bruce Dickinson last year,
Yeah,
which was amazing in itself.
good because it does.
Got
It
some
seems like they might not have too long left from the looks of things.
no,
Oh, it's
no,
good
but
that
you know,
you've got
people
that
don't
ticked
understand
off.
because
You've got that ticked off your bucket list. So
yeah, but I still love to go and see them because they're just such a amazing musician. It's something. Oops,
yeah.
there
Oh,
is my
look.
Maiden stuff. That's actually signed. That drumstick come from the stage back in 2017 in Sheffield. And there's a few guitar picks from over the years. This one from when Brisbane when I went to see them in Australia up front.
Fantastic. Now, actually, okay. Now, my my little maiden story. Nothing cool.
Yeah,
I didn't get to fucking meet them, hang out with them, or anything. It was just that
any main
I
stories are cool.
forget which album it was, but it was the tour to promote the album, as bands tend to do. Um, but the crowd was fucking awful. The band were fantastic, as they pretty much always are. But the crowd
Oh,
were
they all
fucking terrible. The crowd was full of people like
gent.
arms folded, couldn't give a shit. Like if it's anything after sort of 1981, I'm not playing, and really fucking ruined.
No, no.
And you could tell that it it translates. The band can tell this shit for all the fucking lights in your face and stuff. They know when the crowd's not playing along, and they're a band that really try, that really perform. They don't just stand there and play at you. Bruce makes
No,
a
no.
real fucking effort to get the crowd involved, and they just weren't. While ever they were playing, not just the
Can't
new
have,
songs, but even songs that were like at the point like 10 years old were too new for these, And it was like, really? I kept trying to move around, trying to find, a pocket of people who were interested. It's like you've paid a reasonable
oh,
amount
I
of
always
money to come
managed to
here
say.
tonight, you know, and you still get
Yeah,
like you don't give a shit. What's all that about?
like, like, no, you can't do that. No chance. I mean, I'm trying to think. I always find the pockets of good people when I'm at the Maiden gigs. Like, London particularly is always a good shout and a good laugh as it's the hometown gig. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you something cool about the Maiden tours is when the peak happens, I met somebody in the crowd in Leeds a couple of years ago. I'd met this lad in a pub after a Bruce Dickinson talk. It's like, did you go to that talk? Yeah. In the middle of the between songs. You went to that talk? Went to the pub afterwards? Yeah. Yeah! And, just rip the mick out of each other during the songs as we just jumped up and down and enjoyed ourselves enormously. Ended up going over the barrier on the last song that night as I had to as I had to make sure I was out quick to catch my bus, which ended up being late, ironically. But nah, it was a good tour. Great fun. Great fun.
Always fun, always fun. Yeah, so that's it. You heard it here first. Iron Maiden themed wedding. If anybody's up for it,
Oh, yeah,
that's
I'm keen for it,
because
yeah.
I
But
can.
long time for that yet.
And if anybody is up for it, can you please invite me, even though you don't know me? I'm good value. I
I'll take your pictures.
I'll be,
I know the pictures to take. Believe me, I do.
um,
I do
oh, that's
believe.
such. I'm kind of. I can't stop it now. It's an idea in my head. It's like I almost want to get married.
Yeah.
Almost, almost, but not quite. Um,
Did you?
um, fantastic. So, I was going to ask. We might have kind of sort of answered it. I don't know, but have you met any celebrities on your travels?
Well, for travel. Ooh, I think. Oh shit! I remember now. I was with a group of people who I met, a couple of people I met on one of my farming jobs, and we were at this event in Sydney, and Davina McCall was actually there. Like I didn't realize how big a name she was. I mean, I'd heard her name before, but I didn't realize how big she was. And then initially, my mate, she ended up having a quick chat to her and everything in it, but she was with her lads, so she didn't want to disturb her. But she was really nice and really pleasant, though. Davina was. I mean, I didn't talk to her much. I just said, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, trying at the time I was going through a phase of trying to place accents because you'd meet certain people all over the place like, "Oh, where you from? Can't place your accent." So of all things I said, like, "Where you from? I can't place your accent." I can't where Davina's from actually, but no, we crossed paths with Davina there during travels. I've met Noel Gallagher outside a venue, and he was intimidatingly cool. No, he was really sweet, really good to people, everything. When he signed stuff with me, he had told me off a couple of years previously in Sydney. First thing is like, "No, you told me off in Sydney a couple of years ago. You doing it again tonight?" "Depends on the circumstances, mate." And then hours later, when I'm up front, he's seen me enjoying myself. "Can I ask you a question?" "Me?" "You. Have you taken MDMA?" "No, I'm just living life." "You want what?" "You're loving life." "Yeah." "In Nottingham." "Yeah." "Really?" "Yeah." "Are you sure you're not on MDMA?" "Nope." "You want to buy some?" Nicest thing he's ever said to me. "Cheers, Noel, mate." That was a funny experience.
That's great. Um,
That was a good.
is there if you could if you could uh, go out, if you could go out for a meal, go out for a drink or whatever with any celebrity, rock star, movie star, whatever, uh, alive or dead?
Mm,
Let's go pure fantasy, alive or dead.
okay.
Who are you going out with? Who are you going drinking with?
Mm, thinking. Oh, get Liam Gallagher, because he's the one I nearly met but didn't. He'd be a right laugh. I'd probably sound like, I'd let him probably waffle on going, thinking, "What you just said, dude?" But he's got a very thick accent, so I just happily hang out and listen to him talking so much shite and just be laughing most of it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, by the way, Liam, if you ever watch this, yeah, right. If he's in Sheffield, if it's in Sheffield, I'll buy the first round. But if I'm in Manchester, you'll buy the first round. That's how it goes.
yeah, that sounds like a fair deal
You be
to
the
me.
host at your hometown. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Get
that's a fair
married.
deal.
Someone's saying get married. Right. Somebody down
um,
there saying get
get
married.
married. I'm not getting married.
Missy.
Um,
Yeah, I'm a long,
I'm
long way
never
off that,
getting
Missy.
married. If it's not happened yet, it's not gonna. I know that. So, where was I?
Never know.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
No,
No. I
no,
mean, me neither. Uh, but every time I ask
no, I
this
don't.
question, there's something up there. I mean, I don't know if it's aliens or if it's the Russians, the Koreans, or fucking what, but it's like, but there's something up
I don't.
there. Too many people have too many stories.
Narrowing down which one's the right one.
Yeah. So have you ever seen a ghost?
Don't believe in ghosts. Great stories. I don't believe in them.
No.
Good for stories though. Yeah, never seen one.
Never, never just, never just been cold in one room for no reason.
Nah,
Nah.
nah,
Any of that? Random smells?
no, no.
Even nice
Great
smells?
stories. Just no,
Yeah.
no, don't.
You
Great
see,
stories. No,
I see where I'm from, there's or where I'm originally from, we like to call it a castle. It's not really a castle. Or it was. It's all practically all rubble now. The keep's intact. Uh, it really, by
no.
all accounts, was just a big sort of like stately home type thing. Um, in fact, back in the day when it was being built, it was like it was a pretty much a tax write-off thing. Was the only reason it got built in the first place. But we like to say it's a castle and get more tourism in, you know. And this
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this castle was supposed to be haunted by a white lady. Um, many
Okay.
many
Right.
nights, as a kid, camping out in the grounds and shit, waiting to catch a glimpse of. I mean, because when you're a kid, if there's a whiff of like, if you look up there, you might see a woman in a nightie. You're gonna, you kind of want to do that, whether she's dead or not.
Yeah.
And we saw
Oh, man.
we saw nothing.
Oh, God damn it.
We saw nothing
Just in
ever.
pure imagination, right?
Yeah,
Pure imagination.
we saw nothing. Not a sniff.
No.
No weird noises.
Or a sight.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. Although, yeah, we did quite often get a lift home from the milkman. If you don't know what a milkman is, I guess you'll have to Google it. I'm showing my age.
I
Uh,
know what the milkman is.
it's
I
like
know what the milkman
it's
is.
like the Amazon van that delivers your shit, but it only delivers milk and
But
maybe
it's just,
orange juice. And they only
is
come,
it your
but you
chocolate
know they
milk
come in
or
the morning.
no? Oh, I know about that. The milkman. I remember some of that. Yeah,
um,
trust me, I know that. Not that. No.
yeah. So yeah, no ghosts, no UFOs. It's fucking boring, isn't it? No, it's not. It's all rock and roll and photography. Um, some of
The
us.
only UFO I like is the band. The only UFO I like is the band. Okay,
And
that's
you,
it. I'll do
I
for
tell you,
me.
you've not seen that one though, right?
Hmm. I've seen a
Yeah.
former member of UFO, Michael Schenker. That's
All right.
closest I've seen to a UFO. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Played some of the songs. Great news though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do like a bit of the classic rock. I mean, how does this work now? When because like sort of like if classic rock was like the 70s, but we started to kind of like dub it as classic rock to separate it from, or I don't know, grunge, new metal, alternative rock, or whatever weird ass fucking label you want to put on stuff in like the 90s, early 2000s. So it's almost
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some of the sort of like 90s stuff is as old now as the 70s stuff was then. So it's
Yeah.
kind of
So, okay.
like to a
I get you.
teenager now, it's like is sort of like Britpop and Oasis and stuff like that. Is that like classic rock
Yeah.
if you're a teenager
Well,
now?
oh,
And
God,
like and Thin
that's
Lizzy or
weird, man.
UFO is like ancient rock.
Like the Beatles to. Oh God, that's weird, man. I didn't think about that. No, I just treat that as timeless. I treat things as timeless. You like it, you like
Yeah,
it. You know,
exactly right.
I'm happy to blaze lights out, UFOs lights out
Yes.
really loudly on my own
Yeah,
with that one.
exactly right. Words to live by, right there, kids. You like what you like. Why is it
Yeah.
so hard for people to just like what they like? I've never been on
I
trend.
don't know.
Never will be. Never go against trends on purpose. Well, occasionally I'm on trend by accident, you know. But like
Hmm.
generally, you like what you like. It's no big deal. It's not the worst thing. We can still be
Yeah,
friends,
I'm happy.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. rocking round rocking round in a leather jacket and everything, even though some people might think dated, but I think it's a timeless look, regardless. You know,
Yeah.
happy rocking up in a leather coat.
So, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to let you go. I've got some
Oh,
uh, unexpected chores I need to do today as well. So it's
I've got
unfortunately,
some dinner
um,
waiting for me.
but I'm going to let you go. I'm going to thank you very much for your time because I keep saying this.
Thanks for having me on,
Time
Johnny.
is the most precious
Thanks
commodity
for
that
having me
we
on.
have, and
Great.
we all just fucking spend it without a second thought. But it's very precious. So I really do appreciate it.
Cool, cool, yeah.
I really do
Thank you.
appreciate it, man. We end these things, and we don't. You do. You
You
do.
do.
I
I
have
do.
a. We have a catchphrase on this show that I get every guest to say as we sign off. If you please, and you can do this however you see fit. Right? I'll tell you the line, and then I give you carte blanche. You could sing it, you could shout it, you could say it. I don't know, erotically. If you if you have a celebrity
Or,
impersonation, now would be the
or
time. Or
or Keanu Reeves and what I can't remember the name, or be excellent to each other, sort of thing.
so the line is, till next time, keep it foxy, and we'll sign off.
Keep it up. Until next time, keep it foxy and be excellent to each other.
Thank you very much indeed, kids. Joseph Clarke
Cheers,
Photography.
cheers,
Hit up
Johnny.
those socials.